You saw what happened in NDC.
Before the judgment of December last year.
Yeah.
Were they registered? Inec said no. Are they seeking to be registered now? In other words, in the process that started last year, Inec said no. So
that's an argument.
He had already dismissed PMP
right.
by calling it a purported association.
You've made that
He cannot clothe them with a legal right.
That's an argument.
If you are watching this program and you are in ADC and you are also in NDC, scatter that place. So make sure that it doesn't succeed.
Association, whatever it is called, has never been in the equation at all for the past 10 years.
The victory sign is a global sign. It doesn't belong to anybody. It doesn't belong to PMP.
Welcome back to Plan B TV News, Gist and Blog. Now, we are going to talk about the NDC, the registration by the INEC in collaboration with Judge when the new give us. It is funny the way justice is cracking in Nigeria. Now, I want you guys to watch this particular video that triggered me to make part 2 when Daniel Boela said that anybody in NDC should ensure that they scatter NDC to do the work of their Lord, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I want you guys to watch.
If you are watching this program and you are in NDC, these people looking for president, they don't have issues. Scatter that place. So make sure that it doesn't succeed. Because if these people get to power, they will destroy the destiny of your children. Wherever you are, do the work of the Lord and make sure the evil does not survive.
Now, they really went there. They tried to scatter it through their primaries. They did everything. Thank God that the NDC were able to settle things among themselves when they were trying to cause chaos and none of that. But I want you guys to watch NDC National Chairman when he came out on Arise TV News to defend the registration of that NDC. We'll be right back.
I would like you and all Nigerians to know this. Look, the party that went to file an application, a motion, who are they? Nigerians should know that that is not a registered political party at all. It is actually a non-entity. It's not known to the laws of Nigeria. We have natural persons, you and I, in this political sphere. For you to participate in political activities, you must be a political party. That applicant is unknown to the laws of this country. It is not a political association. It is also not a registered political party. It is not carrying out political activities. It is not sponsoring political candidates for this election or for any election at all. Nobody even knows the national chairman of that so-called association. Nobody knows the office or headquarters. Only someone described herself as pro-tem legal advisor of an association. And it's even anomalous that it refers to itself as a party. It is not a political party. Actually, that is a crime under the laws of this country. And every action associated with this matter is frivolous and it's embarrassing, actually.
So you really don't know people who are behind it?
No, there's nobody actually behind it. What I'm here to explain, the kind of situation that has been contrived. Contrived in the sense that, look, they said, even if you take them by what they have read, they said 2015, that association, not a party, association, applied for registration as a political party. And they were denied. Of course, as you all know, we started as 2017. They were denied. So they are not a political party. And if you check 2015 till December, when we got this order, it's 10 years. So 10 years, that association has been moribund, dormant. It is not a body that can pursue any claim against our party. It is not a body capable of having any rights that can be enforced. And in any case, they said, 2015 when they applied to use the V sign as their logo. But they were denied. And once that application was denied, that was the end of it. If they had gone to court to get INEC, as we did, to register themselves as a political party, then they would have had a case. But they were denied, and for 10 years, nobody knows who they are. We got our own applied through the courts, and we have been registered. By the laws of this country, the Electoral Acts, and even by the INEC guidelines, once a party has a logo registered, they have what they call a register of symbols. So as at the date of that judgment, it is the NDC that has the symbol, this symbol. And so, it is a criminal offense for any other person to purport to lay claim to this.
APC says that symbol looks like their own.
No. That was why we went to court. And the court overruled them. And funny enough, all these arguments were canvassed. Because INEC said 2015, an association applied with this sign. And the judge, this same judge, asked them, before the judgment of December last year, were they registered? INEC said no. Are they seeking to be registered now? In other words, in the process that started last year, INEC said no. So, Shehu, this association, whatever it is called, has never been in the equation at all for the past 10 years.
This issue of the registration, logos, and all of that they are fighting over has caused a lot of things in Nigeria. So people are already giving hope on the Nigerian judicial system. How since 1999 to date that they are witnessing judges in Nigeria after packing to a new mansion, they are cracking the justice of Nigeria. Now, I want you guys to watch this particular video of Arise TV News with Charles on how they also deliberate on the issues about the Inec, the registration of NDC. We'll be right back.
The victory sign is a global sign. It doesn't belong to anybody. It doesn't belong to PMP. I listened to Sireke Dixon, the leader of the party, yesterday. He mentioned people who have been using this logo. Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi used it. Awolowo used it. No, I'm coming.
Using your I mean,
if you have
using
a victory sign, it doesn't belong to anybody.
Yeah, but using it is different from that becoming the logo of your party.
If your party is registered,
if it's mistaken for another sort of logo.
If your party is registered with that logo, it becomes your property. This association did not meet registration criteria in 2015, and after 5 years of an application, everything will collapse.
Yeah, but
they don't own it.
Yeah,
the logo does not belong to PMP because it does not exist as a political party. It's only when you register this victory sign and INEC registers you with it, nobody can use it again. PMP is not in existence.
Yeah, but if you've made that point
this judgment,
before, I'm concerned that time is going.
Take my one more point.
Right.
This ruling that has been given on Friday, what benefit does it confer on PMP? Can you tell me? Well, they're not in existence.
No, but
they're not doing anything.
That is not for you to determine.
No, I'm telling you now because they're not participating in the election.
That's almost patronizing.
They have been used.
On your part.
Let me tell you, Charles, they have been used to truncate the participation of NDC in this election.
That's an allegation.
No, that's what it means. Because
let
me tell you,
provide evidence to support
I'm
that,
telling you now, when we moved into NDC on the 3rd of May, Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, some of us, on the 3rd of May. On the 4th of May, they woke up. I went and filed an application to set aside registration of a party that has existed for about 5 months.
You may well,
where we're there.
You may well have a point,
but
you need to prove it. It's a different thing proving something in a court of law.
Yes.
And that's what the issue is here.
No. The point I have made to you is that this association has no legal claim.
Yeah, well, you've made that point, but that's for a court to determine.
They will determine, but we're talking about the one that has been done by this Federal High Court.
You mentioned...
Who, ab initio, in December 2025, dismissed PMP. Look at the word he used in describing them. Purported.
Right.
Purported. Once you say that something is purported, it means that it does not exist.
Well, as I said...
So if he denied them that legal clothing in 2025 December, when he delivered this judgment, how can he now turn around and begin to say that they're in existence and that they're entitled to be heard?
You've made that point.
And you also know,
you
also know that a judge who is hearing a matter can suo motu order that a party that is necessary be joined. And when he considered this matter, he didn't regard them as consequential.
Yeah,
they don't exist.
But you're going to have
to dismissed it. So he's bound by this decision.
You're going to have to make that.
It's going to be going to be a ground of appeal against his judgment because he had dismissed.
Well, that's an argument.
He had already dismissed PMP by calling it a purported association.
You've made that point.
At this point, I felt like all opposition, in as much that they are going to contest in various parties, they should come together now, had a national meeting with all political parties aside this APC, to come in agreement and terms that if Bola Ahmed Tinubu succeed in restricting all their political party, there should be no election. Though that will also serve as a favor to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As long as there is no election, he will remain in power. But I like what Dino Milaye said in this particular video. Try to talk to the NDC that they should put their differences aside. There should be national agreements. I just want you guys to listen to what he said. We'll be right back.
Fellow countrymen and women, I'm here to address you once again in the course of our nation's history. I'm here to address Nigerians, especially on my brother and friend, the former governor of Anambra State and the former vice presidential candidate of our political party, Peter Obi. Peter Obi is one of the finest Nigerians who is intellectually mobile and administratively sagacious. He's a great Nigerian, and by the grace of God, he has the potential of being a great president. I celebrate you, Peter Obi, and I celebrate your movement for a new Nigeria. I celebrate your conscientization of the Nigerian youth and public on governance and building a new Nigeria. So I want to say, it is time for us to think. I encourage the crusade, the movement started by Peter Obi to continue. Move from campus to campus, move from community to community, move from one progressive group and organization from this country to another, to campaign for the new Nigeria that is to come, and be part of the movement to rebuild, to restructure, to reorganize, and reboot Nigeria as a country. We must speak the truth, and the truth is the truth. The truth of the matter is we need a unifier. We need one Nigerian that can solve the problem of insecurity in this country. We need a Nigerian that will have intel from every security facet of our national life.
Of a truth, I admire what Dino Menari said. This is the time to put our differences aside, because what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is about to do, it will surpass those things that you have been witnessing in all other African countries that are colonized by France. When you see a president will be on wheelchair, some are deaf and dumb, while some are handicapped, you know, all those kinds of zombie being in power. You know, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is old. He's old now. He knows that what he have done to Nigeria, if eventually he leave office at the same age of about 80-something, it's going to be a problem. So he wants to create a party system whereby he's the only one contesting and nobody will contest against him. Even after he served his fourth tenure, since he now bought houses for all the judges, they will just change the law. They will change the law and said, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will just serve his tenure until he die. And none of you will do anything. None of you. There's nothing you can do about it. When they control the judicial, the executive, the legislator, they control everything now. Not one political party. Anyway, the NDC is not having it. I want you guys to watch NDC National Executive meeting, what they said in this council. We'll be right back.
You know, NDC was formed, registered, barely formed. And people didn't believe at the time that it was going to be what it is today. And suddenly the party grew. And if I am not too reserved with war, it became the main opposition party by today.
Yes.
And you should know that that will send some concern signal to the party in government if it is not doing well. And we believe that they are not doing well. And the first thing that will occur to you as a party leader is, considering what they have done to other parties or what they have attempted to do to other parties have been issued in the very recent past, you start to think, what is it that they will throw at us? And so, we are not fools not to have not been thinking in that direction. But obviously, as it has been exposed, within the ambit of the law, even as I'm not a lawyer, apparently by what they have done, they could barely not find anything legitimate to throw at us. And just because they just need to do something. Some people just have to do something. Some people just have to get paid. Some people just have to show that they are working. Irrespective of what. That is what they have done, what they have done. And even if you are not a lawyer, from elementary moral perspective, you are talking about a matter that the person involved was not involved, as it were. And even if you attempted to register, I'm not talking as just an ordinary man. Even if you attempted to register a political party with victory sign at the time, and you were not registered, you were declined, the lawyers will answer you. Does it then mean that subsequently, after then, when you were not registered, that symbol cannot be used by another person again? Those are the thoughts that, since I am not a lawyer, that is occurring in my mind. And so what am I saying? By the statement that we have made, which is our official position, we are giving the assurance to all our candidates that the party is fair. Our legal team is strong. From the time that breaking news came that our lawyers in court mentioned the outcome of the court, from that time till now, our legal team is working. And our legal team is working with assurance that this is an abuse to the judicial system of this country. And we believe that it is not all implementators or practitioners in the judicial system of this country that will allow the fact that what ought not to be obtained, that will diminish their image, will be kept or will be allowed to stand. And remember, the international community and everybody is watching. We know the calls that we have received in and outside of this country. We are pleading that the judicial players should not drag this country more into the mud. And if there are one or two players that want to show otherwise of this country, we expect some good people and serious-minded people to rise up and say that no, this ought not to stand. This is not the standard. And we in NDC still believes that there are characters like that in this country, and there are characters like that in the judiciary that shall uphold the fact that the judiciary is still the last hope of the common man. And so on that note.
Anyway, you listen to what they said. Peter Obi on his own said that the target is not ADC or other political party. The target is on him because he knows that Bola Ahmed Tinubu don't just want him to be on any ballot. Anyway, I want you guys to watch this particular video of Peter Obi. We'll be right back.
I've seen the worst of it. Today, the federal government of Nigeria is doing everything possible to ensure that I'm not a candidate in this election. But I'll tell you, they won't win.
Anyway, we are going to end this video here. I don't want to say much, but one thing is for sure. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not have his way. Like what Peter Obi said, he cannot do it. He cannot create one party system. He cannot become the alpha and omega in Nigeria. Two things will remove him in power. One, God. Two, people. Two things. If God remove him for power, it will not be so good for him. Anyway, peace out.